Hello and welcome to the Learning Crypto YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to be going over what I think is next for the Bitcoin and altcoin market, reviewing those trade setups that we talked about on Monday, and also going over a new trade setup that I dropped in the Traders Lounge on the Learning Crypto Premium just yesterday. So if you enjoy trading content, stick around for that and drop in the comment section below if you would like to see a lot more trading focused content. So let's get straight into the charts, talk about Bitcoin and the altcoin market first. So I'm sure it's no surprise to anyone, trading just below the all-time high. So all-time highs in and around 69k. There's a bit of confusion as to whether we actually broke all-time highs or not. I personally don't think we did. I think it was just like a clean retest. But here we are up at about 67.5k. All-time highs are around 69k, depending on what exchange you're in. Now, me personally, if we drop it down to the weekly, I think it's vital that we hold this 60k weekly level. Not only is it a big psychological number, but also it was the top, or the first top, back in 2021, and also it was that key support that we held for a few weeks in October 2021, but when we lost it in November 2021, that's when the bear market really started. So really important level that, and as you can see, we've already had a nice bullish retest of it earlier this week with that big liquidation spike. So all looking good, all looking dandy. Now personally, what I'd like to see happen, and what I believe may well happen, is if we go down to the daily time frame, I think Bitcoin may just range around here between that all-time high of 69k and this daily level here of about 63, high 63s, 64ks, and just bounce around sideways whilst capital rotates into Ethereum and altcoins. Already done a video about that on the channel last week and touched on it earlier this week as well. So if you want to check those videos out, feel free, get a better understanding. But I think that's what could happen. Sideways Bitcoin, really good for ETH and altcoins, and allow that money to rotate into various projects. So if we move on to Ethereum, we take a look at the weekly, as you can see, absolutely ripping up to new highs today. As you can see, heading up towards that 4126 weekly level, which was the top of this little rally here in December 2021. You can see we're already clearing this 3500 weekly resistance, which was the top of the bear market rally in March and April 2022. Blasting through it, not just slicing straight through, and as I say, on the way up to 4126. So again, if we drop it down to the daily, you can see had that big liquidation wick on the on Tuesday, and it's just been up only ever since. So this sideways Bitcoin, really good for Ethereum. And of course, with Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin, that means the ETH BTC chart is looking very bullish indeed. Again, if we go back to the monthly, so I talked about this on a video last week, talking about how the ETH BTC chart looks to have bottomed and may well be looking for a break to the upside, up to these range highs here of about 0.08. You see these range lows of 0.05 held very well, especially after that big liquidation wick, or not necessarily a liquidation wick, because it's a obscure trading pair, but that big scary wick in January zipped straight back up, and you can see holding these range lows, and this monthly candle looking like it's going to break out of this bearish downtrend that you can see, which we've been in since September 2022. So for a long time, and it's been suppressed and looking to break out, which of course is great for altcoins. In terms of the weekly, big level of resistance here. We just mark that out just there, up at about 0.06. which we're hoping to break out from, and that will have nice confluence with breaking out of that monthly downtrend as well. So of course, a strong ETH BTC is good for alts. Now on Monday, I talked about money rotating into the Polkadot ecosystem. If you want to check out that video, I'll link it at the end. Pretty good video, it's been pretty popular, but basically talking about that capital rotation into the DOT ecosystem. Again, if you want more detail, more info, go check it out in full. But as you can see, I talked about a potential, we were up here at around the $10 mark, just above, and I talked about a potential bullish retest of this $8.96 weekly level, and what a decent entry that would be, either as a spot investment or as a trade. And as you can see from the screenshot I'm about to put on the screen, I entered this at around about $9 on a leverage trade. Really nice entry. If we go down to the daily, it was on that big liquidation spike that we had back on the 5th of March, as you can see. And if we break it down to the lower time frames, so I was at the desk luckily, and I could see that we were holding this weekly level of $9 as support. So big liquidation wick, we zip back up, and we are holding above it. And as you can see, tested it one more time here, what's that, early hours of the morning, and then we were away. So entered it on that weekly level and I'm looking for a target of $16, which again is something I spoke about in that video on Monday. So looking good in terms of that trading setup. I also talked about Moon River and Glimmer. We'll quickly review those. Nothing has changed, as you can see. Talked about the importance of holding this weekly level of $20, and it did. Nice little retest and still consolidating, waiting for that break to the upside, which I believe will happen. Once DOT starts moving, I believe that the other assets in the ecosystem will move with it. And then finally, Moonbeam as well. If we just move to the log chart, again, this looks very, very bullish indeed, in my personal opinion. We had that big liquidation wick, zipped straight up, and looking like we're going to turn the weekly candle into a green one, or a white one on this chart, of course. They're very bullish indeed, and it just needs to creep above this 55 cents weekly range high, and then that can go and test these levels again, which I talked about on Monday. So if you want to see the results that you could potentially get from that, go check out that video. In terms of shorter term trades, so day trading, intraday trading, if we go down to the lower time frames on FTM, this was a trade that I talked about on Monday. This was the trade that I entered on the Learning Crypto Traders Lounge at the beginning of the week. So we'd already had this big impulse from, over the weekend. So from Sunday going into Monday, drew up a fib, found that the 382 and saw that we were holding this level of the 382 on the lower time frame. So both on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, as you can, both on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, as you can see. Started to look good, and then unfortunately the move collapsed, hit our stop loss, and then as you can see, we then had that big liquidation spike. But it's what it is. Was a good setup. Unfortunately hit our stop loss, but of course no one has a 100% trading accuracy, but it just is what it is. Small loss, as you can see. The risk reward is pretty good, 5-1. Stopped out on that one. But in terms of the most recent trade, if we go to VeChain, this is the trade that I've entered in the Learning Crypto Traders Lounge just yesterday. So looked at VeChain on the 4 hour time frame, and as you can see, we've got this nice clear range. So 4 hour range low here at 0.047, range high, which is also a daily level. If we go to the daily time frame, daily level here at 0.051, which is the 4 hour range high, and then we've got the mid range coming in at about 0.0497. So I've entered here basically because we deviated the 4 hour range low. Again, I did a video talking about how to trade ranges about 2 weeks ago now. You can go check that out on the channel. But we deviated back inside this 4 hour range. We're holding it as support, as you can see, still holding it all the way through yesterday and today. And I'm looking for that expansion back up to the daily range high. I've got a TP1 set here at the mid range, and TP2, which I will close the trade out as it hits that daily level 4 hour range high. Risk reward about 3.5-1, and our stop loss just under this big wick here from Tuesday at about midday at 0.0465. So if this is still valid when this video goes out tonight, then you'll be happy to jump in on that, or it may well be invalidated and stopped out. We'll just have to wait and see. But if you want to see more trading content on this channel, drop it in the comments below. Of course, if you want to check out our Traders Lounge on the Learning Crypto Premium, go ahead, check out our website at learningcrypto.co.uk. All the information is there. And also a quick shout out to our sponsors at Blowfin Exchange, who are offering an exclusive offer of up to 500 USDT cashback when you make an account using our link in the description below. So UK users welcome, and no KYC required. So go check that out. But in the meantime, have a great weekend, and I'll catch you on the next video.